we are going to discuss about the 2009 science fiction horror movie Splice. Spoilers ahead. Take care and enjoy. The movie begins with the married couple, Clive and Elsa, who were genetic engineers. They were modifying the genetic material to create new species of creatures. They were mixing the DNA of two different types of animals and creating a new creature. Both worked for a medicine manufacturing company named Nerd. They used to make medicine derived from these genetically modified creatures. Their new creation was a male. It looked strange, and it was named Fred. They created a similar animal named Ginger. They keep both the creatures close so that Fred and Ginger mate with each other. The experiment was successful. They both approached their boss, Joan and William, and informed him that they've experimented with the DNA of several animals to make new species, and with the help of their protein, they could help discover many medicines. They also present the idea to mix the DNA of animals and humans to create a new breed that would help create medicines. After their proposal, Joan reflected that they are extremely impressed with the work they've done, but rejected the proposal to mix human and animal DNA, as the company wasn't ready to take this risk. She says the creatures they've made would be helpful in making new medicines for their protein. Therefore, the key focus would be on making medicines. Clive and Elsa insist that someone else would start off with this project if Nerd doesn't get on with it. Joan replies that they'd surely start with the project, but their priority should be to make medicines and commercialize them. She rejects their proposal, saying they'd only start the human-animal genetic mix only after the medicines are made. Clive and Elsa are extremely disappointed with the response, as they were both genetic engineers and they weren't supposed to make medicines. Clive and Elsa decide that they would secretly carry out their research and start their work. To start their research, they needed the DNA of a human being. Elsa gave the DNA of a human being to Clive. On asking whose DNA she got, Elsa replies it's a DNA sample of an unknown person. They start experimenting with the human DNA and all the animal DNA they had worked on so far. Both of them give it all in their research, but didn't get what they wanted, and they were really upset. Elsa one day brings a better DNA sample, and they both start using it in their experiment. After hours of hard work and testing, their experiment turned out to be successful, which means the human DNA and animal DNA had mixed together, making it a unique DNA. Since the research was not backed by any enterprise or institution, it was illegal, and Clive wanted to discontinue the research. But Elsa insisted on taking this research forward. She takes the new DNA sample and puts it in a device which gives rise to new creatures. Clive again advised it's not a good thing to create a new life and destroy it for no reason, to which Elsa answered a lot of people die throughout the world on a daily basis, and maybe due to this experiment, a lot of lives could be saved. Clive in the end agrees to Elsa, and they start producing the creature. But the shocking scene was where the ovum had to grow gradually, growing at a faster rate. On checking, the monitors suggested everything was normal. But in the evening, the alarm bell of the lab went off. Clive and Elsa saw that the creature had developed completely inside the device and was ready to come out of it. The creature was looking strange and dangerous. Clive wanted to kill the creature, but Elsa stopped him, saying who knows if the experiment works, and they derived the medicinal drugs. Clive doesn't listen and goes to the device where the creature was stored. They check the creature, but it was already dead. Clive exits the lab, and Elsa is assured that there's no danger. On opening the box, Elsa realizes that it was just a piece of skin from where the creature ejected, and it's somewhere inside the lab. Elsa is shocked to see the two-legged creature with an ugly face. Clive screams at Elsa to leave the lab so that he switches on the poisonous gas in the lab. Elsa doesn't listen to him and goes near the creature and calls it close to her. While the creature comes closer to Elsa, Clive was about to smash it with a rod. Right then, the creature was about to go wild, but the engineers leave the lab. Clive wanted to switch on and release the poisonous gas in the lab room because he wanted to end the creature. Elsa asks Clive only to make the creature unconscious because she wanted to examine this new creation of theirs. Therefore, they release the gas to make the creature unconscious. They start examining it. They realize that the creature is female, and it's growing really fast, and at one point, it'll develop completely and die. Its life cycle was extremely short. The creature started growing quickly, as expected, and its hands started forming. Possibly, the creature's brain was developing along with the rest of its body, as it was responding positively to Elsa. Elsa by now was emotionally connected to the creature. Elsa fed the creature with her own hands and taught her many activities. The creature wore a girl's child dress. One day, Elsa gave her many blocks of alphabets and asked the creature to arrange the alphabet to form her name. But the creature lines up the alphabet to form the word Nerd, which is the name of the organization Clive and Elsa worked for. The creature did so as it saw the company's name on Elsa's t-shirt. Elsa is extremely delighted and proud as the creature was picking up subtle ways to communicate. Clive comes in and he's extremely angry and irritated and didn't like that the creature was kept out of the lab. He raised concerns that the tail of the creature needs to be covered as well. Elsa asks Clive to stop calling the creature an animal, and when Clive asks him what he's supposed to call, Elsa answers with the name Dren, Nerd written in the reverse order. Elsa tells Clive that the creature lined up the letters Nerd together. One day, Clive's brother Gavin comes to the lab and finds Dren. He gets to know about the whole story and the reason why Dren is created. Now, since Clive and Elsa couldn't keep Dren in the lab, they packed her in a box and stored her in a farmhouse close to the lab. The day comes when Clive and Elsa had to give their presentation about their experiments and the genetic mix to create medicinal drugs. When their former creation, Fred and Ginger, are showcased and brought close to each other, they start fighting each other with their sharp tooth and kill each other. All the audience, the administration, Clive and Elsa are extremely disappointed. Elsa and Clive try to find out the reason why these creatures attacked each other. They concluded that the female creature had automatically changed its gender to a male because it had the DNA of a certain animal which could convert its gender. Elsa and Clive had no idea about it as they were busy with creating and managing the activities of Dren, leaving their priority project due to lack of time. Dren has developed and grown to almost the shape of an adult human being. Elsa treated her like her daughter. She teaches Dren everything and loves her. One night, Dren left the farmhouse and ran into the woods. When Clive and Elsa searched for her in the woods in the darkness, they found at a close proximity that Dren had killed a rabbit and was eating it raw. They bring Elsa back to the house. When Elsa serves her food, she doesn't take it. Dren tells Elsa that she's bored with the place she's living in right now. She conveys all of this by lining up the alphabet blocks that Elsa has given her because she didn't have the ability to speak. Elsa lines up the alphabets and says tediously, expressing her state of mind. Dren jumps up, breaking the glass of the roof, and goes out. Elsa and Clive climb the farmhouse. They find out that Dren was spreading her wings. Right when she was about to fly away, Clive stops her and says that both of them love Dren. They both need her and want to keep her close to them. Clive was able to convince Dren's wings go inside her body, and she runs towards Clive and holds him close. Dren understands emotions, and she could notice the difference between good and bad. One day, Elsa finds out that Dren was playing with a cat. Seeing this, Elsa takes the cat away from Dren as she's scared that Dren would kill the cat. Gradually, it is observed clearly that Dren was fascinated about Clive, and she liked him. With this, Clive realizes that the human DNA inside Dren belonged to Elsa. Clive gets annoyed on Elsa and tells her that she shouldn't have taken this step. Slowly, the liking of Elsa towards Dren started decreasing. She gave the cat to Dren, but Dren stabs the cat in the throat with her sharp tail, and she's slapped hard on her face by Elsa. Due to this, she pounces on Elsa. She takes the keys attached to Elsa's neck, unlocks the door, and goes out. They were getting to know various faces of Dren. Elsa is successful in creating the protein that the company had assigned her. One night, Clive was looking at the screen showing the footage of his farmhouse where Dren stayed. He finds Dren swimming in water and really likes the sight. He moves his fingers on the screen. Dren reciprocates, touching the camera as she knows that Clive was watching her. Clive is terrified and shuts the laptop. One day, Clive comes to the farmhouse all alone. He calls Dren, but Dren doesn't respond. A few moments later, when he turns around, Dren appears all naked, spreading her wings. She says Clive that she loves her, to which Clive replies it can't happen. But even Clive likes Dren. Elsa enters the room suddenly and feels disheartened. She runs away in grief. Since Dren's tail had a sharp end and was causing problems, Elsa decided to separate it. She feels really bad doing so. Both Elsa and Clive realize the mistake they made. Elsa tells Clive she has already made the protein that the company seeked, and it is present in abundance inside Dren. They both decide to kill and end Dren once and for all. They go to Dren and realize that Dren was laying down sick in her bed. Dren passes away as she was already born with a short lifespan. Clive and Elsa cremate Dren near the farmhouse. Clive's brother Gavin comes right there in a car along with an employee from Nerd. Gavin says that he knows that they had made a creature, and the protein which they gave the company has human DNA as well. He asks them to show the creature, to which Clive and Elsa reply that she's dead and buried. A screaming noise comes from underneath the soil where Dren was buried. When they run towards the spot, they couldn't find her. Dren was on the roof of the farmhouse, with her wings open and seemingly powerful, with its tail regenerated. She starts attacking them. She kills Gavin and the other employee. Clive gets unconscious during the clash. She comes and traps Elsa. Elsa gets to know that Dren has changed her gender to male, as she had the DNA of the particular animal who has this ability. Clive stabs Dren from behind, and Dren lays down injured. But Dren pulls the rod out of her and attacks Clive, and then Elsa smashes Dren's head with a rock. Right when she was about to destroy Dren, she stops. She gets emotional and wonders that Dren was created by them, and it has her DNA as well. Dren doesn't waste any time and stabs Clive with its tail, and Elsa kills Dren. In the next scene, Elsa is seen with her boss. Elsa is pregnant with Dren's child, as it was male when it died. She gets to know that the company has a lot of profit with the new protein, and they want to continue the research. This could only be possible with Elsa's child. Company pays her a handsome amount as she lost her husband for them. Elsa agrees to continue the research.